25.
Status check. Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go Starliner. Godspeed.
Boeing Starliner. Today's NASA launches the Boeing Starliner today.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V. American heroes brought light to the stars for all of us. Commander Bitchman, were there
Liftoff
calling down
of the
to
Boeing
Control
Starliner
Houston as the
on the
spacecraft
Atlas
began
V
rolling into
rocket.
flight attitude for its ascent, and guidance navigation and control officer here in the room seemed dead on that.
Or the point of maximum dynamic pressure where the forces of air friction are highest, which looks like it will shortly be passing for Mach 1, but speed is out.
You got a good throttle up.
Starliner and Atlas. Looking good with speeds and attitude increasing as expected. Coming up in less than 20 seconds, the solid rocket boosters will run out of fuel and burn out.
Good SRB burn up. Good SRB.
Now the fuel in the solid rocket boosters has been depleted. The Atlas main booster stage will be continuing its burn for about the next 3 minutes.
Good handle. Good handle.
That call, good handle from Capcom Joshua Pudrick, indicating that the crew now has the ability to initiate an abort manually if needed. All looking good so far. Now 2 minutes into Starliner's flight and coming up on the solid rocket booster jettison at the 2-minute and 40-second mark.
CLT in that good trajectory. CLT.
The solid rocket boosters have now been jettisoned after seeing Starliner through its first 90 seconds of flight. Team on the ground here confirming that it was a good jettison and the vehicle's trajectory continues to look good. We're now at 3 minutes into today's flight.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I still have one for me. One for me. Thank you. Are you done?
Yes.
Did you drink water?
Atlas booster now running back.
How about milk?
The forces on mission site. Trying to limit that to around 3.5 times the forces that you would feel while on the ground.
Doing the ground.
Decals open, yes, sublimator on.
Decal, sub at. Great.
Team on the ground reporting that they saw the asset covered on top of Starliner that's been protecting the spacecraft's docking system through its climb to orbit. They saw that jettison as planned.
Staging was good, yep, good control.
And now the second stage's two Centaur engines have ignited to continue pushing Starliner into space, fueled by liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The next milestone that we'll be watching for is the aeroskirt jettison.
Yes, yeah.
Starliner, yeah, good. Booster performance, yes, to plus 31.
Plus 31.
That was control reporting booster performance offset of 31 seconds of ISP, or specific impulse, relative to its design baseline of around 450.
Wow, amazing job, right? You wanna work in the NASA?
Mhm.
Wow. Good.
And
High five.
30 minutes later, we'll be switching to regular Filipino programming.
Okay. Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
All continuing to perform well, almost 7 minutes into today's
Be
flight.
careful, you might fall your cell phone cap.
Good center.
Good setup.
Capcom Joshua Kudrick continuing to pass good news up to Starliner's crew. Last one reporting that the Centaur upper stage remains in good condition and is performing well, pushing them into orbit.
St. John's open.
St. John.
Starliner is now entering its first guided abort range, where Starliner would direct itself towards a specific location in the event of abort. In this case, just off the coast of St. John's, capital of the Canadian province of Newfoundland, Labrador.
Starliner, Nico converged 11:52. Good perp, you're at 34 to 36 seconds.
11:52. 34 seconds.
That call letting the crew know that the main engine cutoff, MECO, should happen just about on time, about 12 minutes into today's flight. Another good indication that Starliner's ascent is ticking along exactly as expected. Main engine cutoff is a major milestone marking Starliner's arrival on orbit.
9:58.
Still got about 2.5 minutes until we get to that. With the spacecraft continuing to perform well, make its way towards orbit.
No action, Starliner on the LCL, that's just the system coming up into control.
Outstanding. No action.
Once the main engine is cut off, the next step will be the launch vehicle separation. That's set to occur just short of 15 minutes after launch, when Starliner will separate from the rocket and fly free in space for the first time. Flight Dynamics officer reporting that at this point, Starliner could potentially make an abort landing off the coast of Ireland. And they're, again, all continuing well, so we're not expecting to need that abort.
As Starliner is rapidly approaching orbital velocity, the support region is only available for just over 1 minute, where Starliner would just continue up to orbit after that.
Seconds to be go.
Just 30 seconds to go. Now until main engine cutoff, marking Starliner's arrival on orbit.
Nominal vehicle Starliner.
And with that nominal MECO call, that's main engine cutoff. We've got good energy, meaning a good velocity for continuing to orbit, and a good plane, meaning Starliner's trajectory is aligned with the International Space Station for rendezvous tomorrow.
And with that, the Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams return to orbit, and eventually they are both extremely experienced astronauts.
14-4-5-2, 1452.
1452.
What's happening here?
They're both very experienced astronauts with a combined total of 489 days in space between them. Starliner is also the third spacecraft that they've launched in. Both have traveled to the International Space Station via space shuttles and Soyuz, and are now well on their way to repeating the journey via Starliner. It's also worth noting that Williams' role as pilot marks the first time that a woman has crewed a flight test of an orbital spacecraft.
Just a few seconds ago, you heard Capcom Joshua Kudra calling up to Butch and Sunny. With the expected time, Starliner will separate from Centaur at about 14 minutes, 52 seconds into flight. Just under 2 minutes from now, or 1 minute from now.
That is actually the last major milestone for Starliner's ascent. All the hard work is done, but we need for Starliner to be flying on its own before it can begin heading towards the International Space Station. There's a slight pause in the action here while Centaur repressurizes and does some attitude control. We'll get into the right orientation to send Centaur on its way, and then jettison it and move into the right orientation for the orbital insertion burn, which will come about 31 minutes into flight.
No action on the cabin temp Starliner.
No action.
And about 10 seconds till expected launch vehicle separation.
be SEP confirmed.
Good afternoon.
And now that Starliner has separated from the Centaur upper stage, we have a big thank you to our partners at ULA, providing Butch and Sunny a smooth ride to space.
That is not the end of today's orbit activity, though. The team will now be getting ready for the orbital insertion burn, which comes 31 minutes after flight. So that's still about 15 minutes away now. Sunny Williams and Bitch Wilmore will be getting their tablets out, doing a few other activities to get Starliner ready for that. And that will be one of the, that will be the first in a series of burns that will set Starliner on its way to the International Space Station.